Thanks for joining us today. I'm Juan Mendez, and I'm with Precision Flight Controls. We are going to do a couple of demonstration maneuvers for you in the PC-12 simulator. Today I'm going to show you a few of the tasks that this simulator will do in a training situation. So with that, I'll pull my seat forward and we'll get started, and you'll get a chance to see what the simulator will do and how it performs. Thanks for joining us. First maneuver will just be a standard takeoff and traffic pattern with a landing. So we'll go ahead and advance power for takeoff. Gears coming up. We'll set 35 psi torque for climb here. We'll make a turn to the downwind. We'll just leave the flaps set at 15 because of the flap travel time. There's no reason to raise them really for traffic pattern. Just leave them right at 15. And we can see our runway over here to the left. A beam, we'll just put the gear down. Go ahead and select flaps to 30. And we'll start our turn shortly. Get the torque set where we want it. Let the airplane come on down. And we can select flaps 40, bring that power back a little more. You move that power lever, it flattens those blades, and you'll increase that rate of descent quite a bit, because that blades really do flatten out. Get right on the glide slope there. Bring it on down. and decide we want to stop, we can stop pretty quick. So that's about 1,000 feet right there, actually 850, something like that. We'll just maneuver the airplane here a little bit. Go back to the taxi spot. This time we'll do the next takeoff will be a takeoff and an engine failure simulated at the turnback altitude just past 1,000 feet. I'm going to show you how that looks and what the capability of the simulator is as we do that. Pretty well lined up there. Flaps set 15. High idle. Looks good. We'll start our takeoff roll.
Warning, trim.
So we'll climb at 100 knots here. Flaps stay in position. Gears coming up. Climbing right at 100 knots until we pass our turn back altitude. So field elevation's 100 feet, so there's 1,000 feet. Simulated engine failure. Engine shut down. 45 degrees of bank. Non-essential override.
500.
Gear coming down, flaps going to 30. Gears down and locked. And there you are. Notice we still got a lot of speed here. Probably enough to get back to the end of the runway. That's an engine failure at your minimum turn back altitude, and the airplane is safely back on the runway. So this time we'll do a normal takeoff and we'll do an approach to a stall. And we'll show how the stall system works with the shaker. So you'll hear and see the shaker. You'll see the yoke start to shake, and as the speed decays a little farther, you'll finally get into the pusher and you'll see the yoke move forward as the pusher takes over and prevents the airplane from stalling. Then we'll do another of those, and this time we'll disable the pusher and we'll let the airplane completely stall, and you'll see what the stall characteristics of the airplane actually are and why they have the pusher on the airplane and how it prevents the airplane from getting into a very difficult attitude. And the most important thing about this is to show that the simulator has the capability to perform both the shaker and the pusher and prevent the stall. And then if you want to teach beyond that, then you certainly can do that by disabling the pusher and allowing the airplane to stall, and you can see what the characteristics of it are. And the simulator does the same thing that the airplane does, which is roll over on its back when you stall it. Okay. We'll fly the airplane to the turn back altitude and then raise the flaps. Now passing the turn back altitude, 1,000 feet, flaps coming up. And we'll make a turn from traffic here. Bring the power back, climb power. Going up to about 3,000 feet. And we'll start to bring the power back a little bit. Flaps are up. Leveling at 3,000. Aircraft is slowing. We're sinking a little bit there. As you can see, it's about 90 knots. There's the shaker. There was the pusher right there. It broke the stall just like that. Now this time I'll hold the pusher interrupt switch down, and you'll see what happens as the airplane stalls fully. There's the shaker. No pusher, airplane rolls over on its back. And you'll see the simulator lost 1,500 feet. And that's about what you can count on with the airplane, if you stall it. We'll now start to maneuver the airplane for an a GPS approach with autopilot engaged. It lets you see how the airplane, how the simulator performs that. We'll go on up to 3,000. And here we can see we're on radar vectors to the GPS final approach. We'll bring the weather down here a little bit. Down to 1 mile visibility, broken. Approach is selected and we're intercepting the final approach course. And we're approaching VBAG, which is our final approach course. You can see that on the map. A little weather out there at the same time. And we can even get a little precipitation. We've intercepted the glide path and we're on the course. And you can see the autopilot working, flying the aircraft. You can see there's a little bit of turbulence in the weather. You can see the flight director moving up and down a little bit as it's fighting the turbulence. The motion on the simulator, you can see the simulator cockpit moving. Outside you can see the rain, the weather. I can change this at will with the Instructor interface console here. Just a couple of pushes of the buttons and I can change the weather. We're past feedback now, so we'll get our gear down. 3 green, flaps are 15. Starting to pick up a little bit of ground contact out there. Minimums for this approach are about 300. So we've got about 400, 500 to go. Picking up a little more ground contact now. Right on the glide path. Still got a little turbulence. The autopilot's working. A little turbulence still going on. Looking out there for a runway. There's the parallel runway. And there, the short runway's right ahead. Autopilot's disengaged. Go ahead and get the last notch of flaps. And there we are, we made it home. So during the flight, you probably noticed that I used the instructor interface console here to change the weather, which I can do very quickly. There are other things I can do with it. I can create failures and things like that very easily as the instructor, which I do commonly sitting in the right seat. I create the situations that I need to help get the most from each lesson. And that's something that's very, very handy. So I use that quite a bit, and it's a really great device while you're teaching. Thanks for joining us.